So I use Community Builder on sites that need to manage users. It's an add-on for the core Joomla user profiles, and it gives me a lot of additional options that the core Joomla user options don't have, one being member lists. So here I am in the backend admin control panel in the Community Builder user management, and you can see my users. These are all test dummy users here, and the different groups that they're in. And you'll see that myself, I am the CEO, and I am a super user, which means I have access to everything on the site. And I'm also a member of this group called Custom Group I Made. And so I have these other users, which are all in Custom Group I Made, except for this one, Cheryl, which is in just the registered group. So let's go ahead and talk about groups for just a second, and that is part of core Joomla. Let's head on over here to Users, Groups, and you'll see that I have the default groups. In addition, I have the custom group I made. Now I've got 5 users in it. If I clicked here, it would go to the list of users, one super user, of one who's in the publisher group. This is a user that is in both the publisher and custom group I made, along with super user is also in the super user group and the custom group I made, and one person in the registered group. It's important to note that pretty much every custom group you make, in fact, let's go ahead and make one, should have the group parent be at least registered. I mean, registered pretty much means they have to have a username and password. Otherwise, it's sort of silly to have a group about them. I mean, because everybody else who doesn't log in can just view it as a normal public viewer. So let's just call this another group I made. Well, we'll just say another test and save and close. That's as easy as it is to make a group. Now, if you are managing users in Community Builder, you might run into some issues if you go to Users, Manage, and manage users this way, because the changes that you make here might miss the Community Builder database tables. So if you do have Community Builder installed, please use Community Builder User Management. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this user, Cheryl, who's currently just in the registered group, and I'm going to go ahead and add her to the custom group I just made. So where is it? Let's see. What a bit means just right under here. So just another test. So I'm going to hold down Control and choose it so that both are chosen at the same time, and save and close. Okay, so we've got our users, we've got them in different groups, we made a new group, so let's go ahead and take a look at lists. We'd be at Community Builder, List Management, and you can see that I have 2. One that says All Members, so this should include every group. Let's take a look, All Members List, and it won't include the group I just made until I add it to it, so I'll hold down the Control key, add it, and save and close. And then I have another list that includes just members of the custom group, and you can see it's listed here, Custom Group I Made. And we just need to cancel this because I didn't make any changes. The lists are available from the front end of the site via menu items. So you can see here I've got a menu item, CB User Lists, and when I click on it, it takes me to all the member list. And I have enabled it to have a drop down to now I just show just the members of the custom group. And you can see it looks different. Every one of these lists has complete control or customization of how it can be displayed and who can see it. In this case, I've made it so that both of these lists are available to the public, meaning I don't have to log in to see this user list. But if this list is only going to be used for management type of purposes, you might want to have it so that only super users or another group has access to this list. You also might want it to be displayed differently. There's options to have searches, so you can search for members. You can have it displayed in a more of a spreadsheet type layout, so that it can easily be managed by clicking on the headers of those particular columns. It's pretty much infinite as far as the number of options that you have available to you and how you can use this. In this case, I have the different lists available via a drop-down. That's also customizable to however you need it to be, or completely eliminated from it. In this case, I have it so that the user profile, to see the additional information about this user, is off limits to the public. So I get an error message that I'm not authorized. Whereas if I was logged in as a super user, I of course would be able to see all the information. So you can see how using these lists could be really helpful to you or your management team to organize users in a very visual and easy way to see them. Other options that you might be interested in would be in using the user management, and you have the options here to sort in the back end admin control panel by these different options, where I can go ahead and choose just the group I just made, and I can choose all other sorts of variables. In fact, I can say with the name of, if you, let's say you have thousands of people, you might want to choose, okay, who is in this group that has the occupation of team leader, equals and or doesn't. And then we add this, and then we go ahead and search. So let's just see what happens when we hit search. And it displays all the users in just that group I made. Now I want to be able to use this in some other programs on my computer. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and download these as a external file. So I'm going to select them all, and then I can go ahead and export them as a CSV, XML, JSON you probably wouldn't care about. Alternatively, I can also upload information, although most people aren't going to want to do that. Another nice feature that I don't use very often because it's not pretty, but I can also see how it could be used for internal memos, is if you have a group, let's just say it's office managers on the 5th floor, and you've selected them all, you can go ahead and do a mass mail right to that group of email addresses, where you just quickly put in your message and send. Here it tells me who it's sending it to. I have an option to just sort of check it out and put in my message and my information and send it away. And I can see how that would be really quick and helpful for several instances.